Hello Internet, and today I'd like to talk about something that is dear to my heart, which is dreams and their use in psychotherapy. And the why I want to talk about it is first and foremost how the paradigm has shifted from dreams being something useful, something interesting, something worth exploring to something that's a byproduct of the brain and its inner workings. And that's where I feel that the current state of most people are is that dreams are something of a byproduct. But I don't feel that it's quite true. I think that dreams are insightful and meaningful, and that they can be used in psychotherapy to the better advantage of the patient and or client, if you want to use that vocab. And I will explain why in a few minutes. First and foremost, dreams are something insightful. I am more of a Jungian on this and less of a Freudian, but I think both perspectives bring something interesting on the table. They put something of value in both of the concepts. So, what are dreams for Jung? For Jung, very briefly, it's the idea that dreams communicate something to the conscious mind, that the unconscious mind creates a dream in order for the dreamer and the person that awakes to get some insight into their personal workings. Of course, he has the whole idea of archetypes in dreams, which I find incredibly interesting and I'm kind of passionate about it. But it's kind of hard to prove, and the whole scientific consensus of like you should avoid it, but I nevertheless find it incredibly interesting. And for the patients, I feel that dreams can be a way of guiding themselves towards betterment. And I've especially seen people grow so much through their dreams, through having a meaning onto the dreams, because that's another thing that I think is getting lost, is the idea that dreams have a meaning. I do feel that even though it might be a little quirky or a little bit hard to get to, dreams do have a symbolic meaning for the individual. It's not just a bunch of brain mumbo jumbo that just gets pushed in to digest or to process what's going on in the day. There is a bit of that, but there is something much more fundamental in them, which are the idea that dreams can carry messages, since that are deep, emotions that have not yet been analyzed or even thought about, but are there, still present, and are, so to speak, in the back of your mind. And that's the thing that's important with dreams, is that the more you focus on them, the more vivid they're going to become. It's very interesting to see that some people don't remember their dreams at all, and once it starts thinking about them, they start having dreams, and interesting and important dreams nonetheless. And that's why it becomes important and interesting, is that dreams are a reflection of something deep, something raw but incredible. And I feel that in psychotherapy, that rawness and incredibleness can be used to the betterment of the individual, something that can indicate to the therapist what are the things to work on, what are the things that are scary, what are the things that are still cause for issue, and something that we can work on. And that's something that I find incredible. However, I would I would like to stretch this and to explain it. Interpretation of dreams is not an exact science, and in earnest, I hope that it will never be, because that's what's interesting in dreams, is that the interpretations may vary, may differ. There's no universal meaning in. It's really up to the individual. Even though if you believe in archetypes, still the meaning of the archetype is specific to each individual. The shape may be collective, but the inner workings are individual. And I think that's something that also tends to get oversimplified, is that dreams have a specific meaning, or if they have a specific meaning, that meaning is universal. It's not, it's very singular, and you have to work it out for yourself. One of the main ways of doing it, and which I greatly enjoy for myself and patients also, is what Freud called, or Jung called, free association, meaning that you let your mind drift a bit. Like if you have a symbol in the dream, you just get your mind to think about it. What's the first thing that comes into your mind? Is it an emotion? Is it another picture? And through that, you can build upon layers of what your dreams mean. And there is no ultimate answer, like there's no objective truth in dreams, but there's an incredible wealth of subjective meaning, and that's where it becomes essential in psychotherapy, at least according to me, is that that wealth of ideas is still there, and it will always provide something for the therapist and for the patient, and both can work it out. However, this being said, is that therapy is not just dream analysis. You have to do something with it. The dreams are an insight, but they're not the be all and end all. They're like a starting point or a reaching point where you feel that you've reached something, but they're not everything in the therapy. It's like there's no such thing as just dream therapy analysis, right? It's part of other things, part and parcel, but still quite important. And I feel that with modern understanding of science, we have kind of lost that mystery and joyful discovery of the unconscious and what those things can mean, just relegating them to something that's a byproduct, which I find is a waste, a true waste. And that's why I still continue to use them from time to time. Of course, the patient has to agree with this because some people just don't enjoy them, but a lot of people have dreams and they're very insightful. Even if the person can't come to terms with them yet, it always it's always something that's like a building block. It's something in progress. It's something to look forward to. Well, I hope you found it interesting. If you ever have any questions or anything you'd like to ask, just feel free to drop off a comment. And I'll see you next time. Bye.